What's the funniest way you've ever seen someone's own demand backfire? A few years ago, I worked for one of the big car rental companies in a small German city. We had two branches, one large office on the outskirts with a massive parking lot, and a tiny one tucked inside the train station. The train station branch had just 4 proper parking spots and a few unofficial ones at the far end of the platform. It wasn't profitable, more of a prestige thing. We were there so business travelers could step off the train and drive off immediately. Both branches shared the same pool of cars through our booking system, which meant we had to move vehicles back and forth constantly. Mondays were always the worst. Dozens of business customers would arrive at once, grab their cars, and disappear onto the Autobahn. By Thursday evening, most of those cars would trickle back in, ready for the next week. Then came the Monday that nearly broke us. By midweek, we saw it coming. Our system showed negative 60 cars for the train station branch. That meant 60 more reservations than vehicles available. Normally, we could balance things out from the main office, but that week, the entire shared pool was sitting at negative 15. Cars hadn't returned, some were scheduled to be retired from the fleet, and we had no backups coming from nearby cities. We spent Friday calling customers, begging them to cancel or reschedule. Some were understanding, others weren't, and plenty never answered. My supervisor finally sighed and said, "Can you handle the Monday shift at the station? You're calm under pressure." Lisa would lose it if people started shouting. I said yes, knowing it would be chaos, but figuring we'd manage somehow. To prepare, I came in on Sunday. I spent hours cleaning, refueling, checking keys, and getting every available car lined up. When I locked up that night, I told myself I was ready. At 5:30 Monday morning, I arrived to find a line already forming outside. We opened at 6. By 8:30, every single car was gone. My supervisor had been shuttling a few extras from the main office, but soon she called and said, "That's it. No more cars left anywhere." I looked out at the empty lot and knew what was coming next. Customers kept arriving, waving printed confirmations at me like trophies. I explained, as politely as I could, that we had run out of vehicles. Most understood immediately. After all, they could see the bare pavement behind me. But a handful of business travelers refused to accept it. "I made a reservation," one man said sharply. "You're obligated to honor it." I called my supervisor again. "They're insisting," I told her. "No matter what." She let out a long sigh. "If they want their reservations honored, let's honor them." That's when the idea clicked. While we were completely out of regular cars, the main branch still had a full lineup of unused moving vans. Large, white Mercedes Sprinters and VW Crafters that hadn't been rented in weeks. They were technically part of our fleet, even if the train station branch wasn't supposed to rent them out. But desperate times call for creative solutions. I checked in one of the transfer driver's cars under my branch, created a normal rental agreement for it, and then switched the assigned vehicle to a moving van from the main lot. On paper, it was perfectly valid. My supervisor sent the drivers over, each one bringing another big white van to the station. When the first one pulled up, I nearly laughed. I walked over to one of the most demanding customers, a man in an expensive suit who had specifically requested an automatic diesel. "Good news," I said, smiling. "We found your automatic diesel." He signed the paperwork, looking satisfied, and followed me outside. The smile vanished the second he saw it. A gleaming white Mercedes Sprinter, tall, boxy, and proudly displaying our company's logo across both sides. "That's my car?" he asked. "Yes, sir," I replied cheerfully. "Automatic diesel, full tank, ready to go." He stood there in disbelief for a moment, then climbed inside and drove off, his tie barely visible above the oversized steering wheel. And just like that, we had a system. Every customer who refused to accept reality got a moving van. Within 2 hours, our tiny train station branch looked like a delivery hub. Rows of giant white vans parked where sleek sedans used to be. By mid-morning, the chaos finally slowed. The customers who had accepted the situation were long gone, and the ones who hadn't were now cruising across Germany in vehicles meant for furniture. When my supervisor called to check in, she couldn't stop laughing. "You actually did it?" "Every last one," I said. "They wanted cars. We gave them cars." Our satisfaction ratings took a hit that week, but none of us cared. We'd somehow pulled off the impossible, filled every reservation on paper, and kept the office running through one of the craziest Mondays of my career.